Well, so I hear what you guys are saying, and I'm worried about that. But I think that maybe this time is different with the Tea Parties, with this. I think that this crew in there, Obama and the rest, are so extreme and so radical. He may go down as the worst president in the history of the United States. And I think that people are saying, you know what, if not for me, what about my kids? I don't want to put this debt on my kids and my grandkids. And there's something about America here that we believe in and we stand for. That this process, the way that it was shoved down people's throat, and the representatives, they weren't doing town halls, they weren't listening to people, they weren't taking their calls. I think people are saying, you know what, I'm not down with this. This is too crazy. And I think that we have a chance to change this thing around. But the flip side is that you see Team Obama, they're going for broke now. They've doubled, tripled, quadrupled down. They're trying the FCC control. They're trying to do the amnesty thing to get more illegal immigrants into citizens so they have more voters that way. They're buying up the unions. They've got the SEIU. They got Acorn. They got all this type of stuff. They're going to run it really hard with the astroturfing thing. So,
well, they're going to run it into the ground.
Into the ground. So 2010 is an absolute battle. If we don't take it back, if we don't have some kind of wake-up call for Washington, and some of the Republicans are just as bad, although they've gotten their act together now, to let those people know that they have to represent the people, then I think that you guys might be right, and we might be really at the brink.
Well, I think that part of the problem is there's a large disconnect between the average voter and what they actually know about the Tea Party. Because if you talk to many people, friends, families, they all have the same kind of complaints, Republican or Democrat. Everybody's scared, everybody's worried, but the media has done a very effective job as portraying the Tea Party as a bunch of Ku Klux Klan members who want to, you know, drown puppies.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so the people that, at the time where we should be out vocalizing, you know, being heard the most, we should be out in the street, we should be out in the protesting, on both sides of the aisle saying enough is enough. This is just, it's not about even Democrat or Republican, it's about, you know, fiscal responsibility here.
Well, you know what, when I was at, we did a joint convention, conservative media, with the California Young Republicans, and then we sort of presented some other stuff to the California Republican Party individually to some of the members. And the three things I hit on for how, you know, Republicans can win in 2010 and beyond is, well, actually four. Respect for your office, the Constitution, for your constituents, responsiveness, get back to people, listen to what they're saying, be responsive. I'm not saying it has to be like American Idol, but you need to listen to results. Actually do things that work. It being people, because the Democrats say, well, Reagan wasn't popular too. Yeah, Reagan was doing policies that worked. JFK did policies that worked. What this crew is doing right now is going to wreck this country, and some would say, Beck and others, that it's even designed to wreck this country. The last thing is integrity. Stop the kickbacks, the bribes, the BS, that kind of stuff. If we can do those four things, I think we have something. If those four things aren't present, we're in big danger. And again, it doesn't matter if you have an R behind your name, or a D, or an independent, or anything like that. If we don't have those kind of quality representatives, this democracy's not republic's not working so well.
Well, there's one piece of that missing, and that's the foundation. If you talk to the man on the street, whether it's in college, and it's even university professors, they do not understand the basis of conservative principles. And in other words, that the people are more important than the government. They don't understand that the collective liberty of the individual mind will always supersede the myopic vision of a bureaucrat.
And these are some of the things that you're getting into more in depth and politically censored to try to give them that foundation and give them some of that kind of education and theory so that people can really get this stuff.
Exactly, because what happens is if you understand the principle and you know how it works from top to bottom and you've seen where you can apply it, a practical application, then you can think about the situation you're in and use the proper principle. But right now, because people no longer remember the principles, understand, they can no longer talk about the principles of conservative idealism, they're like leaves blowing in the wind. It's not their fault. We're not teaching this. It's not part of the air of America. It's not part of our common knowledge.
I agree. We got to give them the tools. And one thing that I've always said is that the biggest crime in American education is that at no level is it ever required. We require people to do PE. We require people to do social studies. And all that. That's great. We require people to do foreign languages. But we never require them to do even basic finance and economics. So they can't even understand a lot of this type of stuff. Even as adults, a lot of people can't balance a checkbook. But what Zach said, I think, is a critical thing. And let's flip it forward to the next topic. Tea parties. Turns out that they've been trying to demonize the left and the mainstream media, or the lamestream media, as Sarah Palin likes to say, have been trying to demonize the Tea Party from the beginning. Now I know in the Central Valley here, and in California in general, and really across the nation, but definitely right here, Tea Parties are a big, big thing. You guys have had huge rallies and stuff like that. And from the beginning, they were calling them racist, wingnuts, kooks, fringe, you know, dangerous, this and that, whatever. They try to, in my opinion, you know, it looks like they might have ginned up some fake or insightful type of things with the march to the Capitol, with Nancy Pelosi with their huge oversized sledgehammer gavel or whatever that is. So they call them teabaggers, everything like that. But it turns out that a poll recently from Gallup, the gold standard of polling, besides Rasmussen, I think he's the best, that the majority of Tea Party members are not Republican. 43% independents, 8% Democrats, that's 51%, that's the majority that aren't Republicans, and that the biggest demographic of the Tea Party is people that make over $55,000 or above. So here's the mainstream media, the lamestream media, trying to smear people in the Tea Party, and it turns out that they were wrong. This is basically America, and if anything, that this is kind of more higher earning and perhaps even better educated America. But you guys know a lot about this Tea Party stuff. What do you think about that story? What do you think about what the lamestream media is trying to do to smear the Tea Parties? And what do you think about some of the Tea Parties that you've met?
The mainstream media is as guilty as slavers were in the South.
Wow.
They are racist. They are willing to say that because these people want to stand up for their taxation and because their skin is white, therefore they're racist. Prejudice against anyone is wrong. And you cannot classify an entire group any which way. And to say that group because of their skin color is dumb and needs to be our slaves, or that group because they went to a Tea Party are evil, are not worth talking to, is slanderous. And so what we have is we have very prejudiced people running our mainstream media. They have a political agenda and they want power.
Some would say it's corrupt. I like what you're saying right there. The thing is, they're attacking, what you're saying, if I'm hearing you right, they're attacking the messenger. They're not even dealing with the message because they can't deal with the message.
That's right.
Right, exactly. And I think Mike's right. What we're seeing is the worst kind of demagoguery imaginable.
Wow.
You know, this is just straight down bullying because they
Yes.
cannot deal intellectually and honestly with the problems that we're facing this country. And therefore they want to marginalize what really are the mainstream Americans coming out to voicing their concerns of what's happening to their own country and trying to make them feel like they are lunatics, fringe, and bad people. There's this artificial guilt of racism interjected into, just so casually interjected into every aspect of free speech and politics now, that if you even, you know,
The Tea Party's not the Klan.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
no,
exactly.
I'm not a member of a Tea Party. I don't consider myself a member of the Tea Party, but I've been to a number of Tea Party events.
Well, we led 2 Tea
Well,
Parties.
and it's effective enough to keep a lot of people from even wanting to be associated with it.
And that's the thing.
And as long as they never go up and see for themselves what's going on, they're going to believe this lies about racism, about insanity. And really, and you go, it's very nice people. It's not a riot.
No.
It's not like, you know, some of the Code Pink protesting
Oh, my
military on
goodness.
campus.
I went to school in Berkeley 7 years. I mean,
Right,
I've seen,
where they're shouting down people, where they're screaming all sorts of obscenities, where they're bludgeoning people, where they're throwing. This is very organized, very civil. People just coming to voice their concerns.
What I've seen, what I was going to say is, what I've seen is that, just what you're talking about, very nice people, very polite, a lot of older folks, a lot of women there, you know, they might bring out their kids, mothers with kids, the whole thing. It's like, it's almost like a
homeschool moms.
Yeah, it's like an art and wine fair a lot of these places, frankly. I mean, honestly.
Yeah, that's
you know?
actually a better rendition of what was there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Seriously.
There was not one piece of trash.
Or
left
if
over.
you go to the Marine Ward any given day or something like that, or Discovery Kingdom now.
It's the same
whatever.
crowd. They're
It's the
attacking
same crowd.
Americans.
They're
Yeah,
attacking Americans. Everyone's peaceful. They're talking. They're very polite. I mean, it's one of the nicest group of folks that I've ever met, and what they're saying is exactly what you guys are talking about. Hey, we're interested in our country. We're involved now. Whether it's Alexis de Tocqueville or you know, a lot of political pundits now. Oh, people aren't involved, and none of the people vote. Here you have Americans saying that we care about our country. We're involved in issues, and we want to go to where Mike and Zach are doing this, and we want to talk about these issues, and we want to be involved in government. What is any more American than that? And here the mainstream media and the Democrats are attacking them. But you're going to see them spin now because now the new pollers are saying, wait a minute, we can't be against
Well,
you.
as Aristotle would say, silence implies consent. So the first thing they wanna do if they wanna get their way, shut you up.
There you go.
And that's what this really comes down to.